welcome to the paddock here in Berlin after what's been quite a rollercoaster weekend. Berlin Tempelhof is a really particular circuit where you need to balance trying to get the most pace you can in qualifying, but then for the race you're actually trying to look after the tyres rather than brutalise them. Mix that with two events being in one weekend, two directions, and a difficult schedule for the whole team to deal with. And really the focus has to be just on executing the perfect plan. Practice, really we were focusing on making sure the correlations from our simulator was good for qualifying pace, but then you have to balance that again, making sure you get enough coast laps in so that you can understand what's happening with the rear tyres, whether you're hitting your energy target, and really balance it out for your race pace. So after having shown really strong pace in FP1 and FP2, we expected to go through to qualifying for the first event with a really strong result into the dual stage. But both cars suffered with an issue just 5 minutes before the session, which we had to rectify, which really destructured what we were trying to do for the session and meant we were just outside the duels. Now for Alexander, actually he was fortunate in the position that he was in, having secured 5th within the group stage, to move up into the duels when one of the other drivers moved out, which just meant that really we're then into the 250 kilowatt running and we had to maximise our 1 lap pace. He did that fantastically, moved through the dual stages into the final and finished there in P2, ready to go through to the race. In the first race, we really struggled to control the rear tyre energy. We found that there was a bit of a mismatch between what we'd expected from free practice in the actual session, that even though temperature had kept consistent in terms of the ambient conditions, we were struggling to put the power down, and as a result, we moved backwards in the field and managed to secure P9 and score points with Alexander. But we didn't get the result we really wanted there, with a P9 finish with Alexander and P11 with Oliver. Coming through to the second event, we knew that all we had to do was solve the mismatch between our simulation and track and ensure that we could move forward with the rest of the field as they also increased their learning overnight. So we dug down, looked through the data, made changes to the cars and really came out for free practice 1 and free practice 2, knowing that our 220 kilowatt pace was stronger. However, as you saw across the field in qualifying, really there was just a complete difference in how people use the tyres, their run profiles, and I don't think there was a true optimum that any single driver managed to perform with. As a result, we finished just outside of the dual stage, which was quite disappointing, but we knew we'd made a big progress to go forward through to the race. Now going through to the race, we really focused on just making sure we could move forward, look after the rear tyres, but at a circuit that's much more difficult to overtake in the reverse direction compared to what we'd had the day before, we were really looking to maximise our opportunity on overtakes and just keep that position. We did that really well with Oliver, managed to move forward progressively through the field, took a very long attack mode at exactly the right time to make sure we could gain on the front runners and really pull in those points and positions. With Alexander, he did suffer damage quite early on in the race, and really from there on he wasn't able to push through the field in the same way, but we still came away with it with points. That's the key thing. We need to keep making progress, keep improving and drive forward to the Jakarta.